All right. Hello, professionals. Welcome to the virtual learning fest. With me and our speaker, Gan, as a PMI Asia Pacific, will discuss about AI in PM, the innovative PMI feature. Okay, to discuss this more deeply, I have presented Calvin Gunn as our speaker. As our speaker today. Let's say hello, Calvin.
Hi there.
Good,
Good evening,
good
Dirgahayu,
evening.
Republic, Indonesia.
Yeah, Republic Indonesia. Oh my God, thank you so much for your um for your apa namanya for your
Greetings
for
as
your
well.
greetings ya for all of us in here. Okay, um without any further stage is yours, Kelvin.
Thank you very much. So first and foremost, hello everybody, selamat malam. I'm very glad to be part of Nico's Learning Festival. So today, I'm going to take about 30 minutes to share some of the slides. Along the way, if there's any questions, please feel free to drop in the chat box and the team will consolidate for the FAQs. Yeah. So the next slide, our purpose. So PMI is a not-for-profit organization, and as a not-for-profit organization, we are committed to advancing the project management profession. And that's why PMI works very closely with Rico Learning to maximize the project success, to elevate the world, to nurture, develop aspiring project managers like yourself, and around the globe as well, so that you do your job well, you contribute to the organization increases the effectiveness and the whole competencies. And as a not-for-profit organization, we are definitely growing as a global community. And that's where we have such events like this today to share knowledge, best-in-class certifications, and of course, as a team, to drive positive change in organizations and communities. Next slide, please. So PMI was founded in 1969. So we are now a global professional brand serving the largest communities. And if you look at the numbers here, it's very, very astounding. You have about 730,000 members, 1.6 million active certifications that includes your PMPs, your CAPMs, your ACPs, your CPs, and the list go on. 12,500 volunteers, out of which we have in 214 countries, as well as 307 PMI chapters. So in Indonesia, we have an Indonesian chapter as well. So I'll be glad to answer on any questions with regards to the chapters along the way. So the local chapters in Indonesia, for example, they organize local events. They have our members together with the training partners to do seminars, to do webinars, outreaching, networking events, and all this to increase your presence and awareness locally. And of course, hopefully by joining the community as well, by joining the chapters, whether you're president, secretary, or even a community member, it helps to increase your portfolio as well as your profile. Next slide, please. So the Global Executive Council at PMI includes industry-leading organizations. So if you look at the slide here, it's basically around the globe. So representatives from each organization, they do share best and emerging project management practices. And in partnership with PMI, they create opportunities for learning and networking through engaging experiences and of course events featuring influential thought leaders. So this is also a testament on the relevance of PMI certification, because if you look at the slide, it's regardless of the industry that PMI value adds. You have the banking, you have the electronics, you have the IT, you have the oil and gas, and the list goes on. So that means that regardless of the PMPs or the CAPMs or the ACPs, it contributes and supports our partners in terms of capacity building and efficiency, and of course, elevates both the organization and you yourself as individuals, both internally and externally. Next slide, please. So to achieve this as a not-for-profit organization, we have established a lifelong learning pathway. So this pathway, if you look at from the left all the way up to the right, you can see that PMI has a full suite of certifications to support, regardless where your journey is and where your career level is. So these will form the essential technical skill sets to individuals. That's where Deco Learning supports PMI in terms of teaching, developing, and nurturing that technical core sets to you. So in order for Deco Learning to do that, PMI has to ensure that they're well trained. The trainers have to go through the trainers. The campus itself or the partner itself has to make sure that the quality assured too. So this doesn't stop. Once you progress on, we have a continuous learning approach. We support our stakeholders through thought leadership research and of course insights, seminars, webinars, both physically and virtual. So today, or later on, I'll be sharing very brief overview in terms of three of our research or insights, so they have a better idea where you can find information and where you can find advice from. Of course, at the local context, which I shared earlier with you, the PMI chapters is held by volunteers. So they host lunches, networking sessions, provide opportunities. And the underlying framework that we built this upon is a talent triangle, which is on the right. This I will share briefly on shortly as well. Next slide. So I'm going to touch first on the global project management job trends for 2024. Next slide, please. Manufacturing into advancing AI-driven predictive analytics with efforts to become a leading electric vehicle producer by 2030. So the AI tools are also being used to optimize battery production processes. I think this has been widely announced and shared in the local news as well. So AI is definitely shaping how projects are executed. In the bilateral meet, for example, just recently, maybe about 2 weeks ago, China will also ramp up its investment into Indonesia's electric vehicle industry. South Korea Hyundai Motors will also be building a complete supply chain in Indonesia. This equates to more revenue and, of course, more job opportunities. And as well, Indosat is also partnering with Garuda Airlines for digitalization to that. PMI and Oracle, which is a very well-known brand globally, Digital Construction Practitioner, or DCP for short course. That is a course that we have, and it's an in-depth program focused on technology deployment in in-built environment project management. So it's basically proactive AI-driven data analysis. And if you look at the overall demand for drones, and you look at this picture on here, you know that drones are nowadays being used, and they are used in the top 4 industries that involve construction, agriculture, transport, and security. So Indonesia definitely has the potential to become AI center for ASEAN. And with more data, that means that there will be more skill sets that even project managers will need to adapt, will need to have, and this will all be covered as PMI moves and evolve towards an AI-driven kind of industry or kind of environment. Next slide, please. So digital transformation as a driver for growth. So for Indonesia, for example, giving some examples, the fintech sector is definitely rapidly expanding with digital banking platforms powered by AI and blockchain, driven by a surge in cashless transactions. In Asia Pacific fintech boom, the cashless payments is going to hit 26.7 trillion by 2030. 67 companies globally also in digital transformation projects. And of course, IT and manufacturing will lead the shift. This infographics was from Google as well. It's maybe about a few years back. Where Indonesia is heading towards with regards to the rest of the other countries. And understand that there's also a digital talent scholarship where there's economic growth and it creates jobs. And it's also inclusive development by bridging the digital divide. And definitely these initiatives aim to ensure that all Indonesians, including those in the rural and underserved areas, can participate in the digital economy. By having AI as well, it enhances the public services and governance. And most important thing is the innovative ecosystem. The focus on nurturing startups and fostering innovation hubs will create a vibrant ecosystem that encourages entrepreneurship and collaboration. This is something that we see rampantly around the world. The gig economy, everybody is stepping up in terms of being an entrepreneur, You have the sandbox kind of model. Because with working from home, with the rise of IT, transnational boundaries have all been eliminated. So everybody is playing on the fair ground. And with all these advances in technology and with all these changes going on, everybody has the same playing field. There is nobody with comparative advantage and not, so everybody has the same field. So what you need is also a skill set that you're able to measure, a skill set that you're able to manage, especially your stakeholders, and also assess the risk that's involved in all these projects. Next slide, please. And of course, skills and talents needs in project management. So in this research itself, it goes on to mention that the demand for professional skilled in AI, hybrid project management, digital tools is increasing. Talents with advanced problem-solving skills, strategic thinking, and digital literacy will be essential. Success, adoption, and implementation. A change management plan definitely ensures all stakeholders team. So regularly training employees to enhance their digital literacy, improve the adaptability. Inter-team collaborations are definitely essential for implementing digitalization as well. You also need to identify and mitigate the risk associated with digital transformation. A risk assessment analysis helps to identify the potential issues and challenges that may arise. You also need to develop contingency plans that addresses potential risks, data breaches, system downtime, or even the team's adaptability to changes. And most importantly, a governance structure that ensures that technical updates comply with regulations. And last but not least, with all these things in place, we need to measure. So digital transformation are impacted by success measurement metrics. So you have a rise in revenue, you have better customer experience, you have improved operational efficiency, and all this are just part of the bigger system where you need to use data analytics to gain insights so that you know where the effectiveness are going, where needs to be spruced up. Okay, cool. If you have no time, the phone is not with you, it's fair enough, no worries. I'll hand on leading the new routines, breaking down geographic leading the new routines, breaking down geographic there's more transnational barriers, and of course, increasing the scale of risks, challenges, and opportunities that were located a few years ago. Now, in the current business scenario, hybrid definitely pays off, and this is the main reason why hybrid approaches are becoming the next management trend in organizations. In Indonesia, for example, companies in sectors such as telecoms, IT, are increasingly adopting hybrid models to balance the predictability required by traditional stakeholders with the agility needed for software development. Because things are moving very, very fast, there's certain modes of management skills that you need in order to cater to the ever-changing environment. And that's why hybrid is something where we have seen an increase in growth. And of course, in the Asia Pacific region as well, the companies in the financial services are also using hybrid models to ensure compliance while rapidly adapting to new market changes and allowing for quicker iteration and feedback loops. Next slide, please. Remote and hybrid work arrangements are effective. And if you look at this, um, remote, on-site, and hybrid work to debunk some myths, they in fact they yield comparable project outcomes. So if you look at the circles over there, you can see that the difference is very, very, very minor. And so this suggests that comparatively work location has no negative impact on project performance. So some of you who are asking your superiors or your managers to work from home and they are contemplating whether does it bring down your efficiency, I think you can use this report to basically prepare them. Also, a study recently published by Scope in collaboration with the Boston Consulting Group not only supports these findings that organizations are not negatively impacted by flexible work, but found that in fact benefit from it. And it's very true if you look at the different research around the next generation of employees or staff, they value work-life balance. And this is something where hybrid work models will be able to give them the job satisfaction that they're able to achieve, and yet deliver the same level of work commitment and efforts to the organization. And of course, one of the key success factors for teams operating in the virtual world is to forge real connections and develop a sense of purpose. The challenge or the opportunity is there, but the challenge exists definitely. Me speaking to you in the virtual context, I will not be able to see your true expressions because your video cam is not on. But even if you're on, I won't be able to know how are you reacting to my presentation. Are you feeling bored? Are you feeling excited? Do you have doubts? I know so these are some of the things that we are not able to do it, but with hybrid work model, everybody now is working like this, speaking to your colleagues, speaking to your team, using a very systemized kind of system. So this adds on to the skill set, this adds on to the need or the requirement for all of us, including yourself, to ensure that there are certain soft skills that you need to have in order to ensure that when you're interacting with your stakeholders, interacting with your teammates, interacting with your colleagues, you're able to overcome the barrier and ensure that they are engaged with you and not just, listening, okay, time to go, and I'll just off my laptop and just go down. Right? So you definitely need to find ways to spark a sense of connection. You have to rethink the team engagement strategies and develop a flexible, inclusive mindset. Perhaps more conversational, not just a one-way kind of instructional. Have more people come in to be involved, share, speak. Thereafter that, have the minutes, and then do a one-to-one, and then do another session again. Not too many meetings, but make sure it's meaningful. Next slide, please. So what I shared is just a recap or just an overview of the pulse of the profession. Similarly, there's a QR code here. So if you find seconds to scan this, and you can download this later. So I don't really see your facial appearances. So I hope everything is okay for now. Yeah. Then I'll just continue because yeah. Next slide, please. The third report that I'm going to share with you is this: shaping the future of project management with AI. We know that AI is everywhere. We know that previously, many years back, when accountants are informed that there will be systems such as Zero with Miro, and there's all this accounting software. The main concern is, will my job be redundant? Will I be made? No, will my role extinct? In fact, if you look at the last 6, 7 years as it progresses on, the basic accounts executive, in fact, they roll forward because they learn to pick up new skills. They are not just doing data entry, but they're able to assess the financial reports. They know the business more better. They're able to advise their managers, and this forms a new ecosystem where they're able to leverage data analytics. So similarly, there's certain skill sets or the certain kind of things that project managers do that may become replaced. I wouldn't say redundant, yeah. Substituted by AI software, your Excel, your Kanban, and stuff like that. But then you move up to the next level. You rise up vertically to be able to leverage and to be able to learn new skill sets to analyze the data. And through that, that itself is called value adding. So we evolve together with changes, and we are not um being pushed aside by these kinds of advancements. Next slide, please. So generative AI's transformational potential. So revolutionizing project management by automating low complexity tasks, assisting in decision making, and of course, augmenting strategic initiatives. So automated reporting, it basically streamlines administrative tasks, and it allows you to save time, but also enhances the accuracy and consistency of reports. Minimizing the errors, sometimes adding a zero here, adding less 1 0, I think that makes a huge difference in terms of the cost as well. So we ensure that stakeholders have reliable data to base their decisions on. Predictive analytics allows project managers to engage in proactive issue management, in keeping projects on track. So you have the system to be able to track based on the trends. This will happen, this might happen, it allows you to plan forward. So this capability is crucial. So they identify potential pitfalls before they become significant problems. You have this on standby. You know that these things are going to happen. You have the backup plan, and you apply the solutions on it. Of course, there will be other things that screws up, but at least you know that these these are the things that within the scope that you are aware of will be covered, so you're able to reduce the risk as well. Resource demand forecasting, it predicts future resource demands based on the trends and historical data. And of course, the GenI aids in long-term planning and budgeting. So this foresight enables organizations to prepare adequately for future projects. It ensures that the necessary resources are available when needed. Now, if you look at this tree, this is just out of the whole system. Um, I attended a core or I attended a seminar as well with my boss in Malaysia, and there was this presenter that shared this diagram with us. So I think it's just very good to just know. There are three stages of AI development, because many of us will be wondering, when will AI become the next, robot that replaces humans completely? The narrow AI, the one on the left, is the current state of AI. The systems that are designed to perform specific tasks or functions within a limited domain. ChatGPT, for example, falls under this category. Then we have the general AI, the future of AI. Not available yet, but AGI has potential to revolutionize industries such as education, entertainment, transport, and health. So this AI can understand and communicate fluently in multi-languages. It comprehends complex texts, engage in meaningful conversations with humans, and can process and interpret visual information from its surroundings, allowing to navigate the physical world and interact with objects and people. High levels of autonomy means that it can function by itself. It can work independently on tasks, collaborate with humans, and basically teach and assist others and all. The super AI, ultimate goal or the ultimate god of AI, surpasses human intelligence virtually in all areas and is capable of outperforming humans in every cognitive task. I don't think we'll go to this stage because it's very sensitive. There's the ethics that will be involved in all this. But it's just to let you know how AI, the whole journey of AI and where the potential and where the potentials of growth will be. Not to scare, but allows you to have a better idea. When we talk about AI, where we are, how much growth or how much potential that whole system will be doing. All right? Next slide, please. Skills gap in AI integration. So despite the potential, only 20% of project managers have substantial experience with AI tools. If you look at the tools on the right, we see that there are six, right? I'm not sure all of you knows everything, but definitely some. The top left-hand corner is definitely chatbot. Perplexity. It basically provides accurate, trusted, and real-time answers to any question, very similar to ChatGPT. And then you have that little, that's Copilot. All right, Copilot is very similar to ChatGPT, but it functions under Windows. Yes, it functions under Windows. And then there's the six dots. That's something where I'd like to share. It's called Assembly, pronounced as S-E-M-B-L-Y. My boss introduced this at the presentation and I gave it a try. It's very, very good. So what happened is it's able to take the minutes for your call. You invite Assembly into your Teams meeting, to Zoom meeting. You just meet, you just have a conversations with the customers, do presentations. At the end of 5 minutes to 10 minutes, it will generate a minutes by minutes and a task to do as well. So Kelvin is tasked to do this, deliver this by this, and you promise this and this. Everything will be drafted to you, transcribed to you in that whole minute session. So it saves a lot of time, definitely. There's no need for a minutes taken in the past where somebody has to sit down there and, okay, what do you say? Can you please repeat that again? No. Assembly breaks it down into a very simple app. And of course, Quillbot is another similar to ChatGPT. Canva. Canva is a design app that's taken the world by storm. Um, over the last few years as well. I think it's worth billions of dollars. It basically puts everything into one platform. So regardless whether you are marketing manager and expertise, it's very similar to no code, low code, where you don't need to have marketing experience. Drag and drop, create your own flyers, your EDMs, your even your own designs and stuff. And all these can be done on Canva. So all this requires certain skill set, which is you to be receptive, you to experience and know and to understand what are all these apps all about. Find the one that matches you and use it and adapt to it. And going forward, you get a hang of it, you'll be able to experience more of this. All right? Next slide, please. Last but not least, the role of the PMI talent triangle. I've shared this earlier on, so very briefly, there's two triangles, the one on the left and the one on the right. So PMI shifted from the left triangle to maybe slightly more than a year back. So the talent triangle framework, it basically emphasizes the integration of the ways of looking, the power skills, the business acumen, leveraging generative AI. So what is business acumen? For example, market awareness, know what's happening economically, know what's happening around the world. And of course, it helps you in terms of the strategic planning, analysis, alignment, and doing up the business model. Ways of working includes includes design thinking, creative thinking, the risk management, and of course, the transformational part of it. And power skills. Power skills is a skill set which I've shared earlier on in terms of how you're going to engage your clients, your customers, by this kind of platform. Other things is leadership, emotional intelligence, be able to suss out or have a feel how your teammates are feeling whenever they do a job. So I think these are the skill sets that's important, not just for project manager, but regardless of where you are in the entire organization, I think it's all are essential. And of course, teamwork and conflict management is important as well. So understanding the impact, what skills and competencies need to be developed between you and the team that you're working with or the team that is supporting you is very essential so that you can all approach the plan, align the strategies, align the motivation, align the objective, and you can achieve things together. Next slide, please. And all this can be found under Shaping the Future of Project Management AI. Same thing, scan the QR code and 5 seconds. Right. I know I'm a few minutes late, so I'll just move on to the bonus presentation. Next slide, please. PMI AI. So we develop, or we are PMI. Okay, to refresh a bit. As a not-for-profit organization, I think the last or the worst thing that a body can do is to stay dormant and not evolve to change and not improve ourselves. And that's why PMI is now AI. AI as in AI infinity. Next slide, please. So we developed PMI Infinity, which is smart navigation to the most relevant, up-to-date best practices with over 14,000 and growing pieces of content that have been vetted by the PMI global community. So think of it as a ChatGPT, but it is catered to project managers with the standards, with all the case studies and all the definitions. So if you're a project manager, for example, you type in something that is related to project management, it will give you all. And you also have the references and the links for you to refer to more information. So PMI Infinity delivers the interactive and detailed responses and it cites the original sources. So it creates a conversational and trusted experience. Next slide, please. So for example, this is how the platform will look. You type a question, you generate a table, there's references, there's links for you to refer to. And so the PMI Infinity is really created to serve our project professionals. So that all project managers are on the same line, you understand the lingo, you know at the end of the day, you have an app or have a program that is developed by one of the largest professional body in the world to support you in terms of your jobs. And all these are based very, very tightly on our standards and citations and reference to. Next slide, please. So today, If you're not a project manager or you're not a PMP member, you have a chance to experience this for 30 days. So scan this QR code, um, fill in the information, register yourself for trial membership. And that's where you're able to access um, the app. And you can also access more research and insights that's available in our PMI database. And most importantly, you, you have a better feel in terms of why, why, um, why there's a demand or why the demand for PMI has been growing um, as a body, where the value is coming from, and all this will basically help make you a better project manager. All right. And the last slide, please. It's thank you very much. The QR code basically links to my LinkedIn, so feel free to connect me. With this, I'd like to pass it over to Poppy and the team, and hope you find the session useful. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Kelvin, for the presentation.
Okay.
It was very insightful, yeah. All right. Now we enter the Q&A session. Um, all right. Please, if the one of you have some questions for Kelvin, please on your microphone or just chat at the Zoom chat, yeah. All right. Okay. There's a question from Ibu Alila Okta. Kelvin, will AI replace project managers?
I don't think any AI will replace managers. Earlier on, I used the example of accountants. Accountants are numbers figure keepers, which means that they look at your invoice, they key in the numbers, they submit up to the system, and then they tabulate the whole Excel. Um, AI for now will help to condense everything to make it more seamless, reduce the errors, so that such mundane jobs can be taken over by the system. So the accounts executive previously was doing this will now move on to a higher level where he or she will look at the invoice and compare with the previous records and say, hey, why is there an increase in spending as compared to this year, for example? So as a project manager as well, there are certain things that you will not need to do because you have or you're well supported by AI in terms of whether it's tracking or whether it's Excel sheet. Even drones. With the drones, you want to climb up, take a binoculars and look at everybody in the construction site and say, hey, why are you not wearing your helmet? You know it's very dangerous. No. With a drone, it's able to give a very good overview, and you and the system will be able to assess where are the critical risks that you'll be encountering. So as a project manager, AI will not replace your job, but for project manager to advance so that you are able to utilize AI to better improve your job so that it creates more effectiveness. Hope I answered your question.
All right. Thank you, Kelvin. Is that clear enough, Ibu Alila? Okay. Thank you for your confirmations. And we have the next question, Kelvin, from Zain Shauki. I am in entertainment company. We have so many events at once. Can I use AI to help me manage my event projects? Please,
Um,
Kelvin.
yes, sure. So I'm not sure. So perhaps after this webinar, the team can or everybody here can log into pmi.org. But first register yourself as a member. There are thousands of Excel sheets where you are able to utilize and leverage on to track. So as an events company, you definitely need to do your venue sourcing, your space systems, coordination in terms of the timing, getting the relevant permits and stuff, and all this can be basically punted into that so they're able to know where you are required to submit submission, to process, um, when must you you know, do your flyers and do marketing. And all these are part of the whole project manager. So all of us are incidental project managers. When I say incidental means we may not be a project manager ourselves, but we do project management daily. Every morning we wake up, I need to do this, I need to do that. So all these are part of the whole project management kind of process. So um, PMI do have such tools where you can utilize. Um, AI part of it, I'm not sure what kind of programs are available, but it'd be a good opportunity for you to either leverage on ChatGPT or even Copilot. Can you share with me as a events coordinator, what are the different kinds of programs or apps that I can use to help me streamline my process and increase efficiency? Perhaps that's something we're going to try today. This helps.
Okay. Okay. We move to thank you, Kelvin, by the way. We will move to other questions from Ibu T.
Um, okay, to reframe it, there isn't any key certifications for now. Uh, there, there might and there definitely will be because not anything as of now. So even at the latest PMP, Euro, if you want to add on, there are components of AI methodologies within our exams and our certification. So definitely will evolve towards the level. If you look at, if you log into PMI.org, you see that we have different short courses, and these are I won't call it micro credentials. I'll call these as learnings we're able to get enough to speak. So there is no formal kind of certificates for now, but definitely there will be in the future. And there is I'll definitely Dico Learning and PMI will definitely share and announce everybody.
All right. Ibu Tisa, is there clear enough? Or you have some questions? Another questions, maybe? Okay. Thank you from Ibu Tisa. Thank you, Kelvin. We move to another questions, yeah, from Bapak Wahyu Adi. For implementing AI in project management, are there any recommended softwares or applications?
For implementing AI in project management, are there any recommended softwares or applications? Okay. Um, For this, perhaps I will share some information with Dico Learning. Perhaps we can share with you because I know that there are a lot of software, project management software, time management software, tracking the whole progress and stuff like that. So um, to be honest, I'm not sure which one fits well into the different industries because every organization and every individual has a different requirements in terms of how to report and what are the key essential components to be added into the respective sheet. So I will share with Deco Learning and perhaps we just thank you entirely as much as possible and perhaps we can screen from there. Can I answer your question?
Please, Pak Wahyu, can you on your microphone?
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Sorry, I couldn't hear clearly.
No,
So
no,
could you please
no,
repeat again? So because the microphone, I don't know, is it in your microphone or in my speakers? Yeah. Can you just repeat again your answers, please?
sure. So I think there are a lot of apps that is available in the market that will help you to basically track and measure. But of course, every company uses different templates and a different kind of reporting structure. So the app may not be what your team is looking at, or the app may not be the one that your company is looking at. At PMI.org, we have um, tools for you to leverage on that is easily customizable. But if you're looking at a program, unless it's a low code, no code kind of model where you can plug in and fit your own dashboard. If not, then perhaps you may want to start with PMI.org and see which are the tools that you can use. And from then on, you can try to curate it and customize it accordingly to how your company wants to deliver on it.
Okay, and those information available in the website of PMI.
Yes, yes. So the toolkit is within PMI. So if you look under, if you're not sure, it's under learning on the tools you need to find.
Okay, then. Thank you, Calvin.
No worries at all.
All right, thank you, Pak Wahyu Adi. All right, we move on to another question, Kelvin, from Bapak Radityo Priyangga. In your opinion, how do you think project management will improve with AI?
To number one, using AI or using technology will help to increase the effectiveness. Less of a manual kind of supervision. We advance to make better or we evolve to assessing data. Things that previously needs more time to complete, you are able to do it now because you are adopting whether you're using drones or you're using sensors and stuff like that. So all this information are captured. So it reduces the manual, it reduces errors, which is very common in us human beings when jobs get redundant, when jobs get mundane, you do the same things in and out. So when you increase the effectiveness, increase the visibility, it gives you more time to be able to do other things, which is very apt to the entire. So for example, if you're managing a project and you have all these systems in place, you have all the AIs in place to do the reporting, to estimate what's going to happen, you plan the forecast. So all this information are very good because we know that you have the information ready to be able to meet up with the stakeholders. In the past, you might have to wait manually for this results or these numbers to come in at the month end. Um, then after that you are able to present it up. So all this helps to speed things up, allows you to spend more time to do the whole value adding, whether it's to 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 speak to our stakeholders, to create their whole rapport again, and to also manage other projects. So one person perhaps you can manage 2 or 3 projects rather than now you can only manage one in the past. Does that help?
Okay, that clear, Bapak Radityo? Or you want to ask something again? Is it clear? Okay, thank you, Pak Radit. Okay, we move on to another question from Pak Awal ya. Kelvin, thank you for sharing. As AI emerges, ethical issues surrounding it also emerge in project management. I think we will have that too soon with respect to the degree of the implementation. Is PMI aware of it and how further PMI address it?
I think ethical issues is something that will happen when technology is advanced, but to be honest, it will not be in the next 50, 30 years. Once IT or once AI has reached the stage, there'll be certain governance. For example, if you use cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin, for example, when it first started, everybody was jumping into bandwagon. Only when things get worse, then that's where the governance comes in. Countries recognize it, some countries don't. Some Bitcoins can be used, some cannot. The governance will definitely step in. I believe every country, including Indonesia, you have your own infrastructure or government that oversees such components. When the step ahead or when you're stepping or when the system itself is stepping in something which is unrecognized territory, where, example, ethical issues, how does it influence us human beings, for example? Those shows that you watch in Netflix or movies where it creates harm, then there is something where it's not going to happen. So for PMI, I don't think that there's anything to worry about because the system itself is created to support and not to replace. To support in terms of making your jobs more effective, supporting you whenever you have questions or whenever you have any clarifications that you do. You have a central database or standard. It helps to perhaps zoom down or screen through in terms of what are the different options and alternatives that can take to make sure the job goes well. So I don't foresee that to arise. Anyway, with all this information that I shared, within the AI PMI infinity, we do recommend that you do not list down the real company's name. Just put company ABC, right? And that's where the data, the model, the case studies can be presented to you. So we also do take note of data protection and to ensure that all of your interests are well covered. So to answer the question, I don't foresee any ethical issues at the moment or even in the near future with regards to AI advancement. Because at the moment right now, it's purely um, stage one, and where you need something, we provide to you. So hope that helps.
All right. Thank you, Kelvin. Thank you from Bapak Awaludin, Kelvin. All right. Is there any questions from other professionals, maybe? Or is there enough from Q&A sessions? Okay. I think it's enough, yeah, for Q&A sessions, Kelvin. Okay, since there are no more questions, maybe from Kelvin there is a closing statement, yeah, before we end today's virtual learning festival session. Please, Kelvin.
Okay. I'm not going to repeat what I've just shared, but I think it's essential that all of us take on this lifelong learning. To be honest, even at my age, to be honest, yeah, at my age, sometimes I feel that, hey, I've learned this before. I don't think I want to learn it. I don't think I'll use it, you know? So I think these are some of the factors that will affect your decision making in terms of taking on that, continuous improvement. But if you look at things are really changing very fast. In fact, our kids, they know more things than us because they are so used to Internet of Things. They're on the YouTube and everything, and the things that they learn are so much faster than us when they're just reading books. So I think it's essential that we continue to improve ourselves. We we may not be mastering a certain program or a skill set, but at least we know what's that all about. And if that skill set or attribute is able to contribute to what you are doing, I think that's very good. So that's on the technical skill set. But on the softer side of things, as I mentioned to you, we are in a very whole new environment right now where we're speaking to each other few thousand kilometers away. There are certain stuff or there are certain kind of soft skills that you need to have. Presentation skills, these are essential for whole communication, your engagement, and then moving on to, how are you able to better understand, you know. So do not stop learning. Even after the next session, I hope it really helps in terms of giving you a good idea how AI will support project management, um, why is continuous learning important? Why is AI in project management important? And how does it help in your job roles and stuff like that? So take that to ponder. And if you're HR or the learning development team, perhaps you can also incorporate learning modules into your whole organization, regardless whether it's PMI related or it's not PMI related. You know that you have partners like Vico Learning to be able to support you in your journey. So I think do not stop there. Just continue to move on and just continue to adapt and learn these skill sets. Only then you can continue to become relevant. And as one of the participant asked, to risk the risk of being, replaced or being dominant in a skill set and everybody's not using it anymore. Yep, that's for me for today.
Okay, thank you so much, Kelvin. There is two questions left. Kelvin, are you want to answer these questions? Do you want? Three. Sorry, three questions.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Is it okay? Do
Yeah, sure,
you?
sure, sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Kelvin. This question from Bapak Sandi Rahmat Harsa, ya. And maybe uh, I read this one per one, ya, Kelvin. Or
Hmm.
is it okay?
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Okay. Okay. Number one, AI systems can sometimes operate as black boxes, making decisions without clear reasoning. Should PMI demand that AI tools provide explainable results, and how can that be enforced? Please, Calvin.
Okay. Perhaps I will just go through the three questions. I see right now, so I think it's fine. So, Sandy, yeah. AI systems can sometimes operate web process, making decisions without clear reasoning. Yes, you're right. If you look at ChatGPT, for example, the answers that they do provide is not updated every 2024. Um, the older versions are only updated to a certain year. I think it's 2018 or 2020. So whatever answers that they prompt you is whatever information they're able to extract from Google or from the whole website. For PMI Infinity, for example, um, it's through consultation with our members and volunteers. And that's where we incorporate the different algorithms and pathways. We ask a question like this, based on the research, based on the data they have, to derive you with the best fit answer. To be honest, unless it's standards driven, but if you do a case study where the system has not done before or has not experienced before, it may or may not be able to give you what you're looking at. Similarly for ChatGPT, similarly for Copilot, is because around the world, everybody's asking questions, they do the data testing, they test, and they learn. They learn from what you're asking, and they're able to curate answers accordingly and prompt and get ready answers for you. If you ask this question, I'll find the best match and I provide to you. So, um, we so to ask the question whether should PMI demand the AI tools provide a standard result, we don't demand, but for all systems right now is basically created by human beings. Because in this case, for PMI, we created it. We're talking about Copilot is created by Microsoft. If it's ChatGPT, it's created by OpenAI. So they create the data, they get a system to cover all the data. So we make sure that the system do give you as relevant as possible. But as I mentioned to you, if the scenario of the case study is something which is out of the blue, the answers may or may not be relevant. And that's where you need to, as a human, or as us, we need to identify and see whether how true or how factual it is. Because data sometimes can get outdated and may not be relevant anymore. So question number two is when AI tools provide insights and recommendations, how should humans communicate uh, and justify this AI-driven decision to stakeholders when the capital of technology? So it's a continuation of what I shared earlier on. The AI tools will provide insights based on how we content, how they're able to extract the data from coming in, and that's where you can use that to present. So I think as a presenter, or as me myself, for example, I won't use the raw data to present it to my customers. What I'll do is I'll get the raw data, I'll substantiate it with perhaps market insight or whatever factual stuff I can find, even news reports, even visuals, and I supplement it and I'll present it. So you are not presenting just the data from AI, which these days, if your stakeholders are feeling skeptical, I'm able to support it and justify with different kind of scenarios and with facts, whether it's numbers or whether it's infographics, to let them know, hey, this data is extracted from AI and you substantiate it. These are the relevant information that I have to support my reasoning. So I think that's one approach that all of us should adopt and not just use whatever information that we find. Because even for visuals and stuff, we all know that nowadays there's a lot of photographs that are not true, a lot of messaging that's not true, and all these are fake to the ground. So you can see Donald Trump, for example, sing a Chinese song or something. So I think all of us, we have to be rational about this. We all have to take the measures to make sure that whatever information we have the other successful, as a professionals or project managers ourselves, we know and we're able to see or feel that whether is this makes sense based on experience, you make the call, you give the decision. All right. And last but not least, the AI tools require PMIs to understand data and AI-related ethical consideration. What news tools the PMI promotes in the certification and training program. AI tools do require PMI. Okay, AI tools do not require PMI. In fact, um, okay, yes, you're right. AI tools requires the creator to punch in the relevant information so that they can function on their own. So whatever we know, we punch in and then they're able to deliver that. The data algorithms and the AI related, and those are the stuff that's taken by the developers. Yeah. Um, when you come to AI at this current stage, a system itself will not be able to give you an ethical or unethical answer. They'll give you facts based on what they can find. Um, at the moment right now, based on the current technology, I don't think AI has the capability to have emotion intelligence. They're able to vent frustration. They able to know what's right or wrong. Because whatever they find, they basically will cover it up to you. So if you can play around with ChatGPT, play with Copilot, then that's something where you'll be able to know. So PMI Infinity is purely for project managers at the moment right now. There isn't any form of, in this case, as you mentioned, ethical kind of consideration because it's very factual. For example, I need to know how to develop this, how do I present it to this person, how do I structure the whole template to track my project and everything. That's where the system is delivered to. It's very, very factual. And it's not something where you consider, hey, I think should I do this or should I not do that? And if I do this, will it harm my family members or so all these ethical questions which currently the system, I don't think there is any that's available. And even if there is, that's when ethical consideration come in. That's where the whole governance will be coming and mention and say, hey, I think it's not correct because this is not supposed to be happening. You can't have a 5-year-old boy typing to ChatGPT and saying, how can I access this kind of information and stuff? So I think these are the wrongs, which I do agree with you. But for PMI at the moment right now, definitely we don't have, we will continue to ensure that a, a, a black box, or in this case, a confined or refined kind of platform where we provide and support our members. Yes, we're going to have certification and training programs available. We will also deliver it together, work together with Digital Learning to deliver the training to the students. All these are currently in progress of development. We'll share more information along the way, but if you have scanned the QR code, you'll be able to access all the research. And if you go to the AI Infinity one, you'll be able to see the short courses as well, where perhaps you can also take them and basically learn along the way. So, Sandy, I hope I answered your question.
All right, Pak Sandi, is it clear enough? Okay, sounds like clear. Okay, thank you so much, Kelvin and Pak Sandi, yeah, for the question and answer from Kelvin. Okay, thank you so much, Kelvin, for the very insightful knowledge. Yeah, hopefully it can also be useful for professionals. Yeah. All right. Okay, for professionals who are still in the Zoom, please do not leave the Zoom, yeah, because I want to convey some information, and I also want to thank the college who watched this virtual learning festival via the Learning and Paramavida YouTube channel. Hopefully, virtual learning festival tonight can be useful for ourselves. See you next time, and bye-bye.